Hey guys, it's Alyssa giving you another 30-minute Ails and Asanas class. This one's really going to be an energizing flow, so great if you need a little good morning wake up or maybe a mid-afternoon pick-me-up, whatever your body might need to kind of shake it loose and get some energy flowing through your body. I recommend having a block, and if you notice, a block is just about the same height as a crowler. So maybe if you want to support your local brewery, grab a couple crowlers to go. We'll use this as a prop to help give us some length and space in our hamstrings and our spine. Anything at home works though. Maybe it's a can of soup, maybe it's a stack of books. It doesn't have to be either of these two things. You can get a little bit creative, whatever you need to help your body. So hopefully you enjoy. Please give us a like and a subscribe. Maybe drop us a few comments about what your favorite beer is or what you're enjoying lately, and we'll get started in just a moment. Starting in child's pose, make sure those knees are nice and wide. Forehead is down on the mat and the arms are reaching out in front of you. Noticing each point of your body that is in contact with the earth, grounding and settling, and noticing what kind of energy has been flowing through your body and through your mind today. There's no right or wrong answer, just a little bit of self-observation. And knowing that you are in control of your body, breath, and reactions to how you feel. Take a big breath in, exhale, let it go, and we'll move dynamically. So pull yourself forward, letting those legs stay wide, pressing into the palms, lifting the chin and the chest, kind of like a big seal. Turn your head to look to the right, trying to look back at that right heel. Turn the head to center. Then rotate the head to the left, looking over the shoulder, trying to look back at the left heel. Back to center. And pressing yourself back to that wide leg child's pose. Breathing in and breathing out. We'll flow through that 2 more times. So activating through the fingers and the palms, start to pull yourself forward. Let the hips sink down. Strong through the shoulders, lifting the chest, lifting the chin. And then turn your head to look to the right. Back to center, looking to the left, still lifting strong and not sinking down. Pressing back, child's pose. Breathe it in and breathe it out. And one more time, coming forward, legs stay nice and wide, strong and lifted through the shoulders. Head rotates to the right, to center, to the left, to center, pressing back to child's pose. A deep breath in. This time open your mouth, exhale, let it go. Start to bring yourself forward towards hands and knees, and then lift your hips and make your way into downward dog. Remember, anytime we are on our hands, those palms should be nice and flat, the fingers spread apart. That creates a nice stable base for you. And then just bend your knees one at a time, shaking it out, lengthening and pressing through the heels, waking up the shoulders and pressing the chest back towards the thighs. Of course, ramping up the breath here. Take a deep breath in, exhale it out, inhale, exhale, letting go. And bring your feet to meet your hands at the top of the mat. Have a pretty solid bend in your knees here. Touch your hands to the opposite elbows and just hang heavy and sway side to side. The upper part of the body is just folding forward. There shouldn't be too much tension in the neck, so wiggle the head a little bit. And then bend into those knees and roll yourself upright to standing. When you get there, roll those shoulders back, lift up the toes, spread them apart, tuck the tailbone under slightly, the ribs pull down. Strong and steady, mountain pose. And again, we get ready to move dynamically with the breath. As you breathe in, arms reach up high. As you exhale, lead with the chest and fold over the legs. As you inhale, lift and lengthen, flattening out the spine, creating a nice tabletop. The thighs press behind you. On your next exhale, fold forward. Plant those palms flat, step back to a high push-up position. If you need to drop the knees here, do that variation, whatever works for your body. Wherever you are, shift the shoulders forward slightly, bend your elbows and lower down towards a low push-up. The elbows hug in. As you inhale, press into your palms, lift your chest, up dog, or maybe a cobra. And as you exhale, make your way back to a downward dog. Breathing in and breathing out. And bring your feet to meet your hands at the top of the mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen, flatten the spine. Exhale, release and fold. Inhale, bring yourself upright to standing, sweeping the arms high overhead, looking up at the ceiling. And dive right into it. Exhale, lead with the chest, fold over the legs. Inhale, lift and lengthen, nice flat back, thighs pressing back. And as you release, plant your hands, step back to a high plank. If you need to drop your knees as you lower down to a low push-up. Inhale, lift your chest, up dog or cobra. And exhale, making your way back, downward dog. A big breath in and a big breath out. Lift the right leg up in the air. Doesn't need to be super high, just about hip height. And make sure the hip and the toes are both pointing down towards the mat, not open to the side. That standing leg, you're sending energy all the way through the heel of the left foot. Now with control, step the right foot forward to meet your hand and drop the back knee down. For now, just walk your hands up on top of your thigh, readjusting, getting a nice tall spine, and I suggest keeping that back toe tucked under for stability. We'll do some lateral stretching here, which means our body stays facing forward and we're just moving side to side. So the left hand will stay down as the right arm scoops up and over. You may want to use your crowler or your block for a little bit of length here. And then we'll trade sides. So this time the right hand stays down to the right and the left arm scoops up and over. Again, your hips, belly, and chest stay facing forward. Just reaching and lengthening through that left arm and left side. Place those hands down. Walk your hands back towards your hips and extend that leg in front of you, toes flexed up. Just waking up the hamstrings a little bit here. And then walk those hands forward, meeting back in your lunge. Engage your belly. Inhale, sweep your arms and torso up. Nice low lunge, maybe sometimes called a monkey lunge. And you are in control of how much sensation you get here. If you don't quite feel anything in those hips, you want to really lunge forward into that front knee. Keep the belly engaged to support your whole body here. If it feels good, you can start to lift the chest and maybe open up the back a little bit, maybe lift the chin. One more breath in, and then place those hands down by your feet and step it back to a downward dog. Steadying yourself here, we'll get ready for the other side. Lift the left leg up in the air. Same thing, doesn't need to be anything crazy. Hip height, nice strong leg, hips and toes pointing down. With control, step that foot to meet the hand and drop the back knee. Again, just to start, walk those hands up to your thigh, straightening the spine. And we'll do our lateral stretches here. Right hand stays down, left arm reaches up and over. Try to peel that left shoulder back, lengthening out through the fingers. Bring it on up to center. If you're using a prop, trade it to the other side. Left hand stays down, right arm reaches way up and over. Keep that right shoulder peeling back, keeping the chest and collarbone broad. Good, and bring it on up to center. Place the hands on each side and walk those hands back towards your hips, extending that leg in front of you. Have those toes flexed and pointing up. And activating the hamstring here, trying to keep a nice tall spine. Walking forward, engage your belly. Inhale, sweep your arms and torso up. You determine how much sensation you get here. Don't be afraid to feel a little something there. However, if you do feel pinching or actual pain, you will want to back off. But continue to keep the breath steady and lengthening and reaching through the spine with the belly engaged, supporting the legs here. Breathe it in, and on the exhale, place the hands down, stepping back, downward dog. A big breath in and a big breath out. And maybe pedal those knees a little bit, shaking out the legs. Bring your feet to meet your hands at the top of the mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen, flatten the spine. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, sink your booty down, reach those arms up high for chair pose. Exactly what it sounds like, you are sitting in an invisible chair. Make sure your hips are sinking back and you're keeping the breath steady here. This is a very strong pose, and sometimes people hold their breath, so keep it flowing. On your next inhale, stand up, reach it high, and exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, lift and lengthen, flatten the back. Exhale, release. Plant your hands down, step back, high push up. If you need to drop the knees, go ahead and drop them. I'll show it here this time. Bend the elbows, lower down, low push up. Inhale, cobra or up dog, whatever your variation is. And on your exhale, make your way back to a downward dog. Lift the right leg up in the air, nice strong leg, and with control, step that foot to meet the right thumb. Turn the back heel flat. We're setting up for warrior two, so we have heel to arch alignment. Sweep yourself up. Right toes facing forward, left toes towards the side. Belly, chest, and shoulders all facing the side. Root strong in both feet here. We're going to move dynamically again. Get ready to flow. As you inhale, reach the right arm up high, reversing your warrior. Think about lifting and lengthening to the ceiling. And then bring yourself up, warrior two. Forearm comes on top of the thigh, left arm scoops up and over for side angle, creating a diagonal line from your fingers all the way down through your leg. Peel that left shoulder open. Bring it up, warrior two. We'll repeat that again. So inhale, reverse your warrior. Think about lengthening up more so than reaching back behind you. And bring it up, warrior two. Forearm to thigh, reaching and lengthening through your side angle. Root strong through that back foot. Bring it up, warrior two. This time straighten the front leg, reversing your triangle, and now prepping for triangle. Reach those right fingers forward. When they cannot reach any further, place them on your shin or maybe on a block or a crawler. And reach that left arm high overhead. If your legs are screaming at you, grab that block or that prop, whatever you have, to give yourself a little length. You want to think about being light in the upper body and not sinking down on that leg, lifting up light and easy. Press the pelvis forward, keep those arms squeezing behind you. Lower your hand to your hip, turn your head to look down at your big toe. Move that prop about 3 inches in front of that big toe, and bring that back foot off the mat, stacking the hips for balancing half moon. The hips are stacking on top of each other, the shoulders are on top of each other, and our belly is engaged for a little bit of balance. Bend into the standing leg, stick that landing back in warrior two, cartwheel the hands down, step it back to a downward dog. Don't worry, we'll be trying balancing half moon again, so you'll get to flow through it and see if it becomes a little easier for you. Lift your left leg up in the air. With control, step that foot to meet the left hand at the front of the mat. Back foot turns flat, planting it strong, parallel towards the back of the mat, and coming up for your warrior two. Adjust your stance if you need to. Strong and steady here. We flow. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And bring it up, warrior two. Strong through the feet, keeping the bend in the front knee. Forearm lowers to the thigh. Reach the right arm up and over, peeling that right shoulder back, keeping the chest and collarbone broad towards the wall. Bring it up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Keep that bend in the knee. Bring it up, warrior two. Forearm lowers, side angle. Bring it up. Straighten that leg, reverse your triangle, and setting up for your triangle pose. Reaching those left fingers forward when they can't reach any further. That hand lowers down to whatever level you need. Maybe you can reach the floor without compromising. But if you're feeling your posture starting to slump, go ahead and grab that prop. Give yourself a little assistance so you have better alignment. Shoulders are stacking. Those left ribs are rotating forward so the belly, chest, and shoulders are facing the wall. Light through the upper body. Turn your head to look down at your big toe. Move that prop about 3 inches in front of that big toe. Standing on your left leg, lifting the right foot and stacking the hips, peeling yourself open for balancing half moon. Our belly, chest, and shoulders continue to rotate towards the wall. And bend into the standing leg, stick that landing. Rotate the arms down, step back, downward dog. Steady the breath, steady the mind. And walk your feet to meet your hands at the top of the mat. Lift and lengthen and fold. Bend your knees, drop your booty down, chair pose. Make it a good one. Sink that booty down, ramp that breath up. And on your next inhale, straighten your legs, stand it up tall, reaching and lengthening. And exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, lift and flatten the spine. Plant the hands, step back. Flow down through your chaturanga, lifting and extending the chest, and then making your way back to a downward dog. Lift the right leg in the air. With control, step that foot to the right thumb. Setting up for our warrior two once more. This time bring your crawler along for the ride. It gives a little bit of extra strength building in the arms as we flow. Inhale, straighten the legs past that can overhead, and exhale, bend back into warrior two. Inhale, straighten the legs past that can. Exhale, warrior two. This time, wrap that left arm around the small of your back, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then inhale, reverse your warrior. Reach that can up high, give a big old cheers, and bring yourself back up, warrior two. Here's another opportunity for balancing half moon. Start to place that can about 3 inches in front of your big toe. Come forward onto the right foot. Peel the hips open, stacking the legs as that back foot comes off the mat. We're stacking the hips, we're stacking the shoulders. Notice how there's a difference in length if your fingers are down versus up on a prop. Great, and come back, warrior two. Straighten the leg. Take a breath, take a sip if you want. And we'll just rotate our feet to face the other way. So our left toes face the side for warrior two. And we flow. So inhale, straighten the legs past the can overhead. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, past the can overhead. Exhale, warrior two. Wrap that arm, reverse the warrior, reach that can up high. Bring yourself upright, and coming into our half moon, place that can about 3 inches in front of the big toe, lifting the back foot off the mat, peeling the hips open, stacking the hips and shoulders, rotating that upper body so it all becomes square to one side. If you'd like a little bit more of a challenge, try to turn your head up at that extended arm. Might get a little wobbly, but maybe you can still bend into that knee, drop the foot down, and stick your landing. Straighten the legs, turn to face forward, take a breath, wiggle those feet a little closer together, and shake out your legs a little bit. I'm going to trade out for just a regular cup here. That crawler is a little bit big, so we're going to do some balancing. So our tricks for balancing are to stand up nice and tall, roll those shoulders back, engage your belly, and then find a focus point in front of you that will help you keep your balance. Preparing for tree pose, we'll stand strong on the left foot and bring the right foot to your leg. Whatever might work for you, all the way up at the inner thigh, maybe down by your calf, that's my recommendation. Just make sure that your knee and your hips are open externally. You're standing up tall, your belly's engaged, you have your focus point, so bring that cup up to the top of your head, and yes, have the courage to let go. If you're following those tips, I guarantee you'll be able to nail it. Bring your hands back to your cup, lower it down to your chest, and release your foot. Trading sides, rooting strong in your standing leg, and coming into your variation of tree. Maybe your toes down as a little kickstand, maybe it's at your calf, maybe it's up to your inner thigh, whatever works for you. Actively pressing that foot into the leg, zipping up through the midline, engage the belly, find your focus point, and place that cup on top of your head. As you're steady and ready, move those hands away. Make sure those shoulders are down away from the ears. And of course, don't forget to breathe. Maybe smile too. Grab the cup, lower it down to your chest. Shake out the legs. Take a breath in, reach that cup up high, and exhale, fold. Place the cup on the mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen, flatten the spine. Exhale, step back to a plank. We're going to hold this plank here for a few rounds of breath. Strong through the hands as if you're shoving that mat away from you, booty in one line. Energetically, the palms and the toes are pulling towards each other. And then slowly start to bend your elbows and lower down to your belly for 3, 2, and 1. Squeeze your legs together. Have your hands right under your shoulders. Press into the tops of your feet and lift your chest off the mat. Now hover your hands 2 inches off the mat and grab your crowler with the left hand. Arms are kind of like a goalpost shape. Great. Now straighten the arms, pass that cup to the other hand, then draw the shoulder blades together, creating the goalpost. Straighten the arms, pass the can, bend the arms like a goalpost. Continue that for one more round, back and forth. If you'd like a little more, lift your feet off the mat, breathe it in, and exhale, release down. Rest your right cheek on the mat. Just pausing momentarily. And then we'll get ready for another round. Starting to bring the legs together, turning your forehead down towards the mat. Press into the tops of the feet. Inhale, lift the chest. Hover those hands 2 inches off the mat. And then reach for that can. Extend the arms overhead, pass it to the other hand. Then draw those shoulder blades together, squeezing the elbows down like a goalpost. Straighten the arms, pass the cup. Squeezing and opening the arms like a goalpost. Continue that for another round, and if you'd like a little bit more, lift those feet up off of the mat. Take one more deep breath in as you lift a little higher, and exhale, release. Put the left cheek down on the mat. Let the shoulders sink forward. Last round, just to lengthen and make yourself feel a little better here. Turn your forehead down, interlace your hands at your tailbone. Squeeze your shoulder blades together so those knuckles shoot behind you. Press into your feet so your chest lifts off the mat. If you'd like a little more, lift those feet up as well. Keep squeezing the palms together, shooting the knuckles behind you. Take one more big breath in. Exhale, release. Pressing into your left palm, lifting your chest just enough to thread the right arm under, and then roll yourself over onto your back. Move your feet as wide as your mat. Let your knees fall into touch. Place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly, and close your eyes. Feeling your heartbeat and feeling your breath. Take a slow breath in. Open your mouth, exhale. As you're here, just feel your hands rising and falling with each breath, and maybe giving yourself a little reminder of your intention for your practice or for your day. Take a deep breath in. Open your mouth, exhale. Hug your knees into your chest. Gently rock side to side. And then start to rock and roll front to back the length of your spine, really feeling each vertebrae as you roll. And then rock yourself up to a seated position. Nice, easy cross leg. Wiggle your hips down so you sit up nice and tall. Lengthening through the crown of the head, and then placing the palms together and letting your thumbs rest at your chest. Again, feeling your hands rise and fall as you exhale. Extending the traditional greeting of Namaste. In our Ails and Asanas way, the badass in me honors and recognizes the badass in each of you, near and far. Namaste, badass beer yogis. Thanks for being here. Send us some love in the comments. Let us know if you have any requests, and we'll see you soon.